Hi, good morning. I'm Kumar Matthias Klein. Student ID number is 15792646. This is about the electricity production in the UK. The module is Business Analytics and Intelligence. The introduction. Context of the UK electricity industry. A huge change in the UK electricity industry is a massive switch towards renewable energy production such as wind energy, solar power, and biomass. This change is being propelled by environmental objectives, but hampered by world struggles like the Ukraine war, which causes market fluctuations. Increase in an oil and gas prices affect the cost of the operation as well as the pressure placed on the companies to invest more on renewable infrastructure. The dynamics of the change has made cost efficiency, stability, and sustainability on one crucial problem that electricity suppliers have been facing. The academic framing, technological transition in energy. The energy transition of the UK is based on high technologies such as offshore wind, battery storage, and smart grids. These innovations are paramount in attainment of the net zero 2050 goals. The IEA asserts that the renewable capacity and the energy storage system increased fast in 2023. Smart grids are essential in enhancing efficiency, integration, and reliability of renewable sources. But such transition will require serious investment in technologies as well as the infrastructure in order to make it viable in the long term. The labor skills and policy disruptions. UK energy sector has labor shortages and demand of engineering and digital skills, which were aggravated by COVID-19 and Brexit. This movement towards automation and the smart grid systems needs to more tech competent workforce. Energy UK discusses the issue of the recruitment, particularly the skilled one after Brexit in 2023. The shift in the policy influence training, immigration, and workforce planning, which are now involved in affecting the adaptation in the companies. To coordinate the effective energy transition, the investments in the development of skills and workforce strategies become more crucial. The public investment and energy strategy. The current energy strategy of the UK involves significant usage of the public investment as a central part of the charge to a green getaway after the COVID. The company involves low carbon technology and renewable infrastructure supported by the government through the activities such as contracts of difference, which focus on cutting out fossil fuel subsidies. The mechanism of the carbon pricing also encourage reduction of the emissions. These plans mingle climate targets with the economic development and focus on the employment and innovation. The policy reform is also changing in such a way that it can involve the private sector in ensuring a smoother transition to energy. Finally, strategic investment will serve the nation through synergy between environmental responsibility and national development, which will support a robust and sustainable energy future in the UK. The operation challenges balancing cost and reliability. The problems associated with the UK electricity industry are greatly related to the cost reliability balancing within the operation. Nuclear plants, wind farms, and grid infrastructure have high capital cost and strained budgets. Supply chains are the rather complicated and strongly exposed to the global interruption, which cause the lack of materials and the postponement of projects. Such delays increase high cost and the schedules. Unstable gas online prices also present financial instability to budget plans. These are factors that have rendered the firms unable to be financially stable and at the same time has to provide a constant supply of the electricity. It's important to maintain balance between cost containment and reliability. Also, market and the operational risk that are not foreseeable jeopardize profitability. In response to this, corporate entities need to concentrate on proper asset management, risk control measures, as well as the project flexibility so that the industry can respond well to changes in the energy market and achieve long term reliability targets. The data collections. In this analysis, the data was sourced in the UK electricity generators over 10 years between the year 2014 and 2023. Main materials used were FAME database and IBIS World Industry reports. The comparison of the companies was conducted with regards to SSC PLC, Trex Group, EDF Energy UK, Centrica British Gas, and Scottish Power Limited by the analysis of key financial and operational indicators: turnover, net profit, profit margin, capital expenditure, number of employees, liquidity ratio, operating expenses, shareholders' equity, net tangible assets, and renewable investment. The given data will serve as a delayed basis to the assess changes in the industry, the economical sustainability, and the strategic transition to renewable energy within the last 10 years. Financial reports of SSC PLC, Trex Group, EDF Energy UK, Centrica, and Scottish Power Limited. The turnovers, net profit, net tangible assets, shareholders' equity, profit margins are in the million pounds. We will move to the next slide. The data visualizations. The statistics indicate the Centrica dominates the electricity market in the UK with a turnover of 25.6 billion, almost twice as much as the nearest competitor, SSC PLC, with 15.1 billion. The other big producers such as Scottish Power, EDF Energy UK, and Drax Groups also have the turnovers with ranges of between 7.7 to 9.5 billion. This shows the powerful market shares and operations of Centrica clearly. This gap is also highlighted by the turnover graphic because Centrica has a large leverage in respect to the revenues earned and the size of the business that it operates. That might also imply that it has a wide customer base, service determination, and high financial capabilities than its counterparts in the industry. The EDF Energy UK has the highest net tangible asset of 24.6 billion, a factor which indicates on its proper infrastructure and ability to operate as per set standards. SSC PLC come in the next with 8.9 billion, that is in the line with its large scale generation. The footing under Centrica, Scottish Power, and Trax Group is smaller, depending on various business models and investment priorities. On the shareholders' equilibrium, EDF and SSC as well lead the list, and means that the companies have a strong economic support and can be trusted by their investors. Equity is, is at its weakest point in Trax Group, which might be the result of the heavy investing in renewable transitions. Healthy equity positions allow them to be resilient in the long term and overcome the fluctuation in the energy market in order to engage in a long-term infrastructure projects. The profit margin analysis depicts the performance of the UK electricity firms in a varying manner. SSC PLC has the highest cost efficiency with a margin of 11.7%, 8.6% in the next figure occupied by Drex Group, probably because of its renewable investments. Centrica has a humble 5.7 in spite of the high turnover. Scottish Power lags behind with a value of 1.9%, and EDF Energy UK shows a huge negative mark of minus 20.4%. These numbers underline the effect of price management and strategic orientations towards profit in a competitive industry. The correlation matrix indicates major relations with influence profit. Capital expenditure has a positive correlation with profits, but it's also strong, which means that the increase of the level investment is associated with the increase of the level of the profits. There is the moderate negative correlation is equal to minus 0.51 between operating cost and profitability, a feature that indicates their draining effect to profitability. The amount of employee has a medium relationship is 0.47, which means that it affects in the income. The weak positive correlation is 0.29 of liquidity ratio demonstrate that it had a minor impact on the profit performance. The R value, correlation of coefficients. This value measures the strength and the direction of a linear relationship between two variables typically ranging from -1 to 1. An R value close to 1 or -1 indicates a strong positive and a negative correlation. For three variabilities, the R value would help assess the relationship between the predictor and response variable in a multiple regression model. Coefficient. In regression, the coefficient represents the amount of the dependent variable changes for a one unit increase in the predictor variable, holding the variables constant. Each predictor has a coefficient for three variables. P-value. This value tests the null hypothesis where a lower p-value, typically greater than 0.05, suggests the coefficient is statistically significant. In a model with three variables, the p-value of each predictor helps determine its significance in predicting the response variable. The summary statistics. The mean shows market trends of each variable. A high turnover mean may indicate industry growth. The medians measure central tendency better since they reset extreme values. Medians are clearer midpoints than means in outlier turnover. The mode shows the most frequent value of the category or repeating value in small data sets. The data skewness exhibits symmetry. Positive skew profit margins may suggest that most companies are profitable while a few lose a lot. Range displays variation by comparing high and low values. Various company sizes have various turnovers. IQR measures the middle 50% of the data to decrease outliers, which is critically for shareholders' equity. Variance around mean indicates stability. Highly fluctuating profit or loss may indicate firm risk and profitability. Recommendations. Firms should focus on capital efficiency to advance growth by making strategic investment in clean power plants and other renewable infrastructure such as wind, solar, and battery projects. To monitor ROI to make sure that such investment will increase profitability, solid indicators of the situation are regressions that indicate that CapEx will positively affect it. Also, intelligent workforce management is essential. Upskilling the current employees on green technologies and digital system will overcome Brexit and COVID-19 enhanced skill shortages. The areas that should be hired should be entered in the areas of engineering, data, renewables in the line with the industry. Appropriate correlation and regression outcomes indicate the relevance of the method to focus on the development of the workforce in the energy transition. The conclusions. Finally, SSE and ETF are constant revenue generators in the UK electricity industry. The relationship between capital expenditure and profitability is strong and positive, which the regression model also proves with R2 is equal to 0.71. Such workforce problems are the COVID-19 and the Brexit effects have affected recruitment and the talent supply. The contributing factors that determine profitability include capex and employee count. Strategically, firms ought to consider intelligent investment in renewable energy by keeping a tight track of ROI, upskilling the matching the workforce to favor the green energy transition is vital as achieving long-term sustainability and competitive edge in the fast-changing market. These are the references that I have collected the data for the presentation. Thank you for watching this presentation.